To all Huskies out there who are tuning in. It's me, Dr. Sawyer, and I am honored to be joined today by Ms. Shear and Ms. Powell as we wish you a happy Thursday and go over some important announcements. Husky. So instead of a quote today, as we celebrate our preparations for Multicultural Night, we decided we would find some really beautiful artwork. And as you can see there, we have a print. It is print artwork representing multiculturalism and diversity. I know a lot of you are artists out there, so maybe in these challenging times, if at all possible, see what kind of art you can make. Sometimes in the toughest of times is when some of the most beautiful artwork is made. Husky. So we know that this time in remote learning is some of the toughest times in terms of, it's kind of like if you have ever tried running, sometimes that middle part of your run can be the most challenging. Well, similarly in our remote learning, we started off, all the Huskies, everybody was doing such a great job. Well, now we're right in the middle of remote learning, and that can be really hard on all of us. So some of you out there might be feeling a little bit tired, might be feeling a little overwhelmed in these times. And we want to let you know that we all are here to support one another. So if you feel that way, reach out to us. We can be a supporter of yours. Reach out to your deans, your teachers, your principals. We're all in this together. And as Huskies, we're going to stick together, and we're all going to work together to come out at the end of this united and supporting one another, because we know these times are tough. So speaking of that, let's talk about balance. So right now, we have to manage our own learning. We have to set up our own daily schedules. Yes, your teachers are there in different times in live office hours, but it's different than obviously when we're all together at school. So you really need to work on setting aside time as much as possible and trying to reduce technology distraction when you are doing your Hamilton learning. So for example, make sure that you turn off your cell phone, or if your cell phone is on for safety reasons, make sure you put it aside and have it on silent, or only for those people who would be calling you in an emergency, like a parent or a guardian or something important. But try and make sure that you don't socialize and chat with friends when you've set aside time for your learning. That's a good skill to practice for high school and college. And we know these times there are a lot of things going on in our lives, but as much as we can, if we can try to set up that focus for our daily learning. Your teachers and deans each have live office hours. I want to make sure everybody knows that. Your teachers every single day are there, and they are live during specific times where they can tutor you, go over materials, answer your questions. So be sure you check with your teachers and know when their live office support hours are, because every teacher has office hours, and then within those office hours, they have live support times. So between 10 and 12 and 3 and 4, and then within those hours, live time. So be sure you check with your teachers on that. Some of you have asked a lot about, can I please do more learning? And I want more reading, I want more assignments. Well, every single class has enrichment now. So be sure you check with your teachers for your weekly enrichment assignments if you are in that situation. You know, if you're not, that's also okay. If you are working really hard just to, get your assignments done each week and do your best, that's what counts. We are all in different situations, and we're trying to set this up in a way where all of our Huskies can be successful, and we support each other along the way. That's what's most important, is supporting each other along the way. Multicultural celebration is coming up, so be sure that you listen up today. I'm going to talk in just a few minutes about that. Would love to get your participation. And we're really excited to welcome Ms. Powell, our awesome 8th grade dean, who will share information about continuation for our 8th graders. We know that's important to you, and we want it to be something special, and I'm thankful for Ms. Powell's leadership. Husky. All right, the kindness challenge for the week, Husky. As we've talked about it already, we are excited to have that virtual multicultural night. It's very special at Hamilton. We have over 20 languages spoken. We have so many students from all over the world at Hamilton. which makes it incredibly special. So make sure you use that Schoology link to submit pictures and videos, traditional clothes, food, dances, recipes to showcase your culture's unique heritage. It's an amazing night, and we would love to see Huskies participate. Submissions need to be in by Wednesday. I think that's actually a little outdated, scholars. You have more time than that. So make sure that you still submit throughout this week. Husky. I'm going to turn it over now to Miss Powell. Good morning, Miss Powell.
Good morning, Huskies. Nice to be communicating with you all. If you see, there's a little kitty cat there doing some balancing activities because we will be talking about balance as it is super duper important. Husky. So I wanted to talk a little bit about continuation, everybody. So continuation for this year will be on May 28th, and everything will be online since we can't be together in person. But that's okay, because we are working very hard to make this an important and special event for you 8th graders and for all of you 8th grade families. So if you are an 8th grade scholar, please check your Schoology, because I've been sending you messages about continuation and other things. And as we get better details, we'll have more details to follow. If you don't know where to find your submission page in Schoology, it's under 8th grade Hamilton, section 1, continuation. We are all so very proud of you, and we are really excited to be doing something so special, and also the first time doing something online. So we're really excited for this.
Thank you so much, Ms. Powell. It's so nice to see your face, and I'm so excited for continuation as well. I have my robe from my college graduation, my master's graduation back here, just in support of all of our Huskies. We know how hard you've worked for this, and I'm really excited to see everyone virtually at continuation and all of the excitement around it. We want to talk a little bit again about our wellness activity for this week, which is the time capsule. So remember, we all know that we are really living in, a time in our lives that will go down in history. And so this wellness activity, this wellness challenge, is posted on Schoology, and it's a great activity for you to reflect on what life is like for you right now and who you are right now. Here are a couple samples of the pages yesterday. So you are living through history right now. You can put in photos, you can put in artwork. Dr. Sawyer talked about creating art during this time. You put in artwork, talk about your favorites, how old you are, how tall you are, just in order to be able to look back and really remember this time. This is a really cool opportunity to create this time capsule. Now, we also want to talk about being balanced during this time. So Ms. Powell talked about being balanced. Dr. Sawyer talked about being balanced. I'm going to go into just a little bit more detail with it. So one of our IB characteristics is being balanced. And being balanced means that you have a variety of activities and a variety of things that you do that challenge you and comfort you and keep you well. And so there are a lot of different categories in our lives. It can be really easy to overdo one category. I know for me, I can really overdo watching Netflix. And if I watch too much Netflix and I don't have self-discipline or somebody to help me be accountable, that can really impact how well I can do my job, how well I can, pursue my creative arts, and how well I can pursue my intellectual, endeavors, like reading new books every week. And so it's really hard a lot of times for us to stay balanced, especially when we're up against what we're all up against right now. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about an idea that we have about how you can stay balanced and why it's so important. So we want to make sure that you're balancing your school time, your self-care and downtime, and your wellness time. And so that you can maintain your mental, emotional, and physical balance during this pandemic. So one idea that we have is for you to actually write down your schedule, write down what you do every day, kind of keep track of it as you go along. Maybe you were on an assignment and you switched over to YouTube, write that down. Maybe you started making a snack and you decided that you were just going to sit outside for the rest of the afternoon and you forgot to do your assignment, write that down so that you can get an idea of how you are spending your time. And then with somebody who's really trusted, maybe a really trusted friend or a trusted trusted adult. It could be a parent, it could be somebody at school. We're all here for you. We would love to help you with this. We can look at, how you're spending your time and help you create a schedule that feels more balanced for you. We want to make sure that you are feeling balanced and that you are feeling supported. As Dr. Sawyer said, we're kind of hitting that time right now where it might be harder to stay in your schoolwork, but right now is a really important time that you make sure that you're getting all of your academics completed, that you're talking to teachers and going to office hours, because you are going to the next grade next year, and we do want you to be really prepared. So please reach out to any adult if you need any support with how to make sure that we're feeling balanced and that our schedule is balanced. Along with that, here is a suggested schedule that we always offer to you every day. Again, 9 to 10, breakfast, watch your morning meetings, set up a nice learning space for yourself. 10 to 11:30, check in with your Purple Day classes. Today is Purple, so you want to check in with all of your Purple Day teachers, and make sure that you're doing your Purple Day assignments. Try to get 2 assignments completed and turned in. We know it's Thursday and they're not due till Friday, but try to get them turned in as soon as you get them completed. Then afterwards, have lunch and do a wellness activity. So this is a great time to do your celebration for multicultural time. If wellness to you looks like going on a run and that's safe for you to do, maybe go on a jog. If wellness for you looks like something else, this is a good time to do it. Just make sure that it doesn't extend into the rest of the afternoon and that you go back to your other activities, such as self-care. So 12:30 to 1:30, you can also do self-care, and then jump back into your reading or your assignments. So make sure you're getting all of your Hamley reading done. So from 1:30 to 2, you can do your Hamley reads work. And then from 2 to 3, make sure you're doing another assignment, or you can work on the time capsule. So I know there's a lot of options within this, but I think the important part is that we're looking at how we're balancing. So we go to school, and so first actually we wake up and take care of ourselves and have breakfast, and then we do some school work, and then we take a little bit of a break and we have lunch and keep ourselves, healthy. And then we take a little break and maybe have a mental break where you color or draw, or maybe that's when you can watch a cartoon on YouTube, but not too much. And then, you go back into reading and back into completing another assignment, just making sure that it's all balanced and that you're working with a trusted adult to make sure that your schedule looks healthy and balanced for you. And now back to Dr. Sawyer.
Thank you, Ms. Shear. I think that's really good advice. And Huskies, this time during the pandemic, it can be really hard to stay balanced, because sometimes we might say, you know what, I want to watch this cartoon, and 3 hours might go by, because each day we have to try and, improve and meet both our personal needs and our school needs, and then our mental health needs too. Like Ms. Shear was saying, there's a lot going on right now in our lives. And so we understand how much you're growing and learning and trying to navigate this as middle schoolers. And it just takes time. So this week, let's continue to focus on ways that we can try and balance in our lives, and reach out. This is why we're here. We're here for you. And if you need support, that's really why we joined education, why we became educators, because we care about our students. And we welcome you reaching out if you need us in any way. So tune in each day at 9 o'clock for morning meeting. You can probably tell we have some new announcements every day. Like today, I was super excited to hear about continuation, which we know is so important to all of you. And Ms. Powell and Ms. Shear, I really like those continuation symbols. Those are really great reminders of how special this time is in our 8th graders' lives. And we're going to do as much as possible to make it special at Hamilton. So with that, let's remember who we are.
We are the community of Hamilton Middle School.
Let's make it a great day.
Go
Huskies.
Huskies! Have a great Thursday.